I want to explain about the definition of observation and documentation method. The first one is observation. Observation is a research method for measuring individual actions and process in an observed event. Observation is an accurate method of collecting data. The goal is to find the information about the activities that are taking place and then become the object of research studies. The next one is documentation. Documentation method is a collection of files that is looking for data on matters in the form of notes, transcripts, books, newspapers, magazines, inscriptions, minutes, or agendas. The purpose of a documentation activity is to obtain knowledge, information, and evidence. And then the strength and weakness of documentation. The strength of using documentation method are: number one, obtaining original and complete files. And the second, provide information that can be accessed at any time. And the third is save time and effort. And the weakness has 4 points. The first one is format is not rigid. And the second is there is document protection and limited or incomplete or fake. And the third is we have to find the additional information. And the fourth is we have to transcribe and then translate.
Everyone, let me to continue presentation about documentary and observation. And before I continue this presentation, اسمحوا لي أن أبدل اللغات إلى اللغات الإندونيسية، ولكن فيمكن لا أبدل لغاتي، ولكن أختلط لغاتي بلغات الإنجليزي والعربي لكي تسهلا لي ويمكن تفهما لكم. طيب، وهنا الأول سأشرح في هذا الموضوع عن أنواع منهج الملاحظة. وهنا أكتب أن أنواع منهج الملاحظة ثلاثة. The first is observation, a participatory observation. The meaning of participatory observation is the researchers are directly involved in the work to research the subject to be studied. But this is different with non-participatory observation. If non-participatory observation, the meaning is the researchers are not directly involved in the work to research the subject to be studied, but they are observing from far without interaction with the participant. Jadi contoh mudahnya yakni seperti kegiatan sobahulugo, kegiatan sobahulugo bagi skill bahasa mahasiswa baru. Nah, jika dalam kegiatan ini teman-teman mengobservasi kegiatan ini dengan cara teman-teman menjadi partisipan di kegiatan ini, maka observasi dalam penelitian ini dinamakan observasi partisipasif. Berbeda jika teman-teman tidak terlibat, tidak menjadi partisipan di kegiatan ini, maka observasi dalam penelitian ini dinamakan dengan observasi non-partisipasif. والثاني من أنواع منهج الملاحظة undisguised observation and disguised observation. The meaning of the undisguised observation is the researchers recognize their identity to subject, but this is different with disguised observation. Disguised observation, the researchers not recognize their identity to subject. Maksud mudahnya di sini yakni perbedaan antara macam yang kedua yakni observasi terus terang dan observasi tersamar. Perbedaannya dari keduanya adalah jikalau observasi terus terang yakni si peneliti tadi memperkenalkan kepada subjek tentang identitas mereka, bahwasanya mereka adalah seorang peneliti dari kegiatan yang akan dilakukan oleh partisipan tersebut. Akan tetapi berbeda dengan observasi tersamar. Jikalau observasi tersamar, the research not recognize their identity. Peneliti tidak memperkenalkan dirinya kepada subjek yang akan diteliti bahwasanya mereka adalah seorang peneliti. Kemungkinan mereka memperkenalkan dirinya sebagai orang lain. Hal ini mengapa dilakukan? Kemungkinan hal ini dilakukan to get some information. Kemungkinan untuk mendapatkan informasi dengan mudah. Atau hal ini bisa dilakukan jikalau si subjek tadi tidak berkenan untuk diteliti, tidak senang untuk diteliti. Makanya seorang peneliti tersebut memperkenalkan dirinya sebagai orang lain, bukan memperkenalkan dirinya bahwa dia adalah seorang peneliti dan untuk meneliti kegiatan tersebut. And the next is the third of kind method of observation, that is structured and unstructured observation. The meaning of structured and observation and unstructured observation. Structured observation, the instrument or subject to be studied is structured because the focus of the research is certain. But is different with unstructured observation. The grid or subject to be studied is not structured because the focus is not certain, and this is usually used in qualitative research. Dapat dipahami bahasanya macam yang ketiga dari macam teknik observasi ini adalah observasi terstruktur dan tidak terstruktur, teman-teman. Jikalau terstruktur, teman-teman sudah membuat list apa aja hal-hal yang akan diteliti dalam kegiatan partisipan tersebut. Akan tetapi hal ini berbeda dengan tidak terstruktur observation. The meaning is teman-teman atau peneliti, the researcher not make instrument grid to research participant activities. Jadi peneliti tidak membuat list apa aja yang akan diteliti dalam observasi kegiatannya partisipan, karena hal ini bergantung pada fokus. Kalau fokusnya itu mereka itu udah pasti, maka besar kemungkinan researchers make instrument grid. But when the focus is not certain, besar kemungkinan the researchers not make instrument grid. Okay, the next is the axis of observation. اكتبوا هنا الأول الباحث يعرف إلى المشترك الواقعي، فلذلك الباحث يكتسب حصولا دقيقا. والثاني researchers can directly write the truth that is happening because they are in the field. And number 3, researchers understand the substance of the subject. And number 4, make it easy to understand complex behavior. And number 5, informers who do not have time can still contribute by allowing observation on the subject and the study. Maksudnya di sini adalah informan yang dia diminta untuk membantu dalam penelitian peneliti. Jikalau informan tersebut tidak memiliki waktu untuk membantunya, maka dia bisa mengizinkan atau merekomendasikan kepada peneliti melakukan observasi kepada lingkungan atau masyarakat sebagai objek penelitiannya atau subjek penelitiannya, karena juga hal itu dapat membantu peneliti untuk menghasilkan hasil yang akurat. And the last is collect data that other techniques will not have possible. Jadi observasi ini memiliki keunggulan, dia mempunyai kumpulan data yang tidak dimiliki oleh teknik yang lain, sebab observasi ini melibatkan peneliti secara langsung untuk terjun ke lapangan untuk mengetahui hal-hal yang terjadi di lapangan secara langsung. Okay, the next is the list of observation. Number 1 is take a long time. In observation, the researchers need much time to produce accurate result. And number 2, the result of the data depends on the observer skill. This means when the researcher cannot create a comfortable atmosphere at the time of observation, it will affect the observation not match with their expectation. And number 3, the position of the observer affect the attitude of the participant. This means also when the researcher cannot create a comfortable atmosphere at the time of observation, it will affect the observation not match with their expectation, although the observer has a high position. And number 4, the analysis of the result is difficult because there are too much data and it is unsystematic. And the last is the observer doesn't have time to write the result of his observation. Now the last from my presentation, I will explain about observation stage. There are 3 observation stage. Are observation description, focus observation, and selected observation. Observation description, the meaning is the researchers read a social situation like place, actors, and activity. And focused observation, the meaning is choose among those that have been described. And the last selected observation is break down the focus into more detailed component. Maksudnya di sini adalah tahapan observasi. Tahapan observasi adalah langkah-langkah yang harus diambil oleh peneliti. Langkah pertama adalah observasi description. Yang dimaksud di sini adalah peneliti mengambil langkah pertama untuk membaca keadaan sosial yang terjadi di lapangan, seperti tempatnya, kemudian pelakunya yang terlibat dalam penelitian itu, maupun kegiatan yang akan menjadi objek penelitian. Kemudian kedua yaitu focused observation, adalah observasi terfokus. Maksudnya di sini ketika peneliti telah mendeskripsikan subjek atau objek yang akan diteliti, dia harus memilih titik fokusnya yang akan diteliti di mana, begitu. Kemudian langkah terakhir adalah selected observasi atau observasi terseleksi. Ketika telah memfokuskan kepada subjek atau objek yang akan diteliti, maka peneliti menseleksi atau mendetailkan fokus yang akan diteliti tersebut.
Okay, here I will continue the discussion of documentation, which I will start with documentary or dokumentation. Document study in qualitative research is a complement to the method of observation and discussion, so that it can support and increase confidence and provide improve an incident so that the result of observation or interview are more credible or trustworthy. Method of data collection in qualitative method are carried out by means of document studies, in-depth interview, and focus group discussion. Driving document and literature studies. A document will be driven by the author if the document is relevant and support his scientific written activities. For example, research on effective school development. Research can take documents from the curriculum to review the school curriculum. Not only curriculum, but also can draw from written research results from the other people. Curriculum and research including document. Next, type of document. Type of document. First, personal document and diaries. Personal document are note or essay of someone in writing containing feeling, action, experience, and other belief. Although taken to a diary, a spontaneous diary of good quality. Personal document can contain writings such as diaries or other from such as personal photos of family, document, and so on. Second, personal letter. Personal letter are usually important documents for exploring feeling and for crowning the style of language in order to know the thought of the author. Like a historian who found Raden Ajeng Kartini personal letter. It can also be a personal letter between family or very close friendship. Third, autobiography. Autobiography is the work of one on written about a person's life, reading his life experience that are valued so that we can be passed on by their offspring and other people. 4. Official document. Official document are official document containing file from the office, bureaucratic, agencies, agencies, or organization. Office documents such as memos, meeting minutes, and important document official notes, and others. 5. Photography. Photography documents have the distinct advantage of being able to capture and freeze a situation at a certain second and thus provide descriptive material applicable to that moment. Photo can be used as supplementary material for research because photo can describe the situation. Next, statistical data and other qualitative data. Statistical data and provide describe information when analyzed. Research use statistical data to support the achievement of research object or to collect various data. According the statistic team can help qualitative research in the field. A. Avoid overly verbalistic research who use only words. B. Look at trends that occur in situations that appear on the surface. C. Obtain describe information about the population in the apparent situation. D. Provide the way of the preparation of research question. A. Print the idea that developed during the research. F. Making our hypothesis in research. G. Explore the implication of the research idea. Next, the technique of studying document through content analysis. According to Halsey, content review is any technique used to draw conclusion through an effort to find the characteristic of the message and carry out objectively and systematically. According to Kuba and Lincoln, there are five basic principles of the content study. Namely, A. Follow the same process of especially structure, rule, and procedures. B. Follow a systematic process. C. Content review is a process that directed to generalize which is carried out in the relevant and orderly manner. D. Content review take issue with the content draw conclusion based on the document manifested. A. Content studies can emphasize qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative content studies, according to Philip Manning, inlay are based on 14. A. Adjust the material into the communication models. B. The role of annulation of the analyzed material in stage from the rule of procedures, namely driving the material into one unit. C. Categories are the center of the analysis of the aspect of the interpretation of the text following the research question put into the categories. They are found and reflected in the analysis process. D. Criteria for the credibility and validity of the procedure must be comprehensively, intersubjectively by comparing with the other study using triangulation. In the following, I will show the stats based on Philip Manning. 1. Research question. Determinant of category definition and level of abstraction for the inclusive categories. Step-by-step formulation of inclusive categories of material making in the account the categories definition and degree of observation. Sort all category or formulation. Next, revision of categories after 10% to 5% of material. There, formulative reusability check. Next, the final work of the entry text. There, summative readability check. And interpretation of result. And with our group explanation of observation and documentation, if anyone does not understand, let us discuss together the end of our word. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.